If you'll permit us, we would like to change the world. Cardano Slim, let's go!
Hey there, everybody. I'm Cardano Slim, creator, founder, and CEO of StripperCoin, and basically the captain of the ship around those parts. Although I do have help from a large team, just some great people helping me out there. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a huge advocate and fan of Cardano. If you don't know me, you're about to get to know that I'm pretty much a Cardano maxi. And today I'm going to do my video in a little bit more of a conversational and relaxed style, a little bit less editing. Eventually I hope to start doing live streams and interact with the chat and just kind of run at it like that. More something like the Crypto Crow does if you guys watch him. If you don't, go check out his YouTube channel. I think he has some great information, really gives people some insights. And, if it comes down to it, he's one of the people who brought me into Cardano, a few years ago when I was looking into crypto and trying to figure out which one to get behind. His video was one that kind of showed me the way, and I started doing my own research, and I've been pretty much a Cardano maxi ever since. So today I'm going to do a video on the wallet ecosystem within Cardano. Now, if you know Cardano at all, Daedalus and Yoroi are the two officially sanctioned wallets, but I don't recommend using Yoroi. It's really slow, and there are a bunch of different better soft wallets out there, better non-node wallets out there. Now, if you're looking to run your own node and submit code directly to the chain, Daedalus is 100% the way to go. But if you're not at that technical level, then you want to use one of these wallets. Now, I'm not going to be able to review every single wallet in the Cardano ecosystem. Some of them are still in development, like Lace, so I can't exactly demo it here right now, although I do think they have something out on the testnet. We're not going to review that here today. I didn't think Lace had any special features in it, from my review of it, that I felt like it was something we should show here today anyways. But we are going to go over Eternl, Flint, Gero, Nami, Typhon, and yes, we're going to review Yoroi a little bit. So I hope you guys are all having a very Merry Christmas, a happy holidays. We are down to the last 12 days before Christmas. Let's get into the video. Now, the first light wallet we're going to review today is the Eternl wallet. This is a Cardano community wallet with a team behind it, and this is my personal favorite wallet. Where you see me working right now is just at Eternl.io. Their homepage is pretty much just their wallet. And you can get the browser extension for Chrome, Brave, Opera, and Edge down here. You can just click there and it'll take you to the Chrome web store where you can install it. Once it's installed, you'll see it up in the top right-hand corner. You may have to drop down your plugins and actually pin it to the top for it to show up there all the time. But this is what the wallet looks like. They do also have a mobile wallet, which you can find on the mobile store as well. Now, the first thing we're going to do is add a wallet. If you do not have a hardware wallet, and I do have a video created on how to connect your hardware wallet with an Eternl soft wallet, but we're going to go through and just create a wallet without any actual encryption, just a basic wallet. And when I say without any encryption, blockchain inherently has secure encryption built into it. I just mean for the sending keys, we're going to have to type in a password rather than authenticate it through a physical device. Now, the danger with having a soft wallet like this is if your computer gets hacked, your funds could potentially be lost, because they potentially could get this wallet password. So first we're going to name our wallet test video. We're going to give it a strong password. Now, it says my password is considered weak. I'm just using this password for demo purposes. We're going to click save. Never save that. And on this page, it allows you to have a number of accounts. Now, we're going to actually put 3 here and see what it comes up with. I've actually never done this myself. And Eternl has so many cool features that I can imagine this is a really neat way to use it. I think what it's going to do is actually tie 3 different wallets to the one set of keys that we create here. But let's see what happens. We're going to go to save. And now it's going to give us our seed phrase. It's going to be 24 words that we're going to need to write down and then repeat back. So we're going to say, I can confirm. Nobody else can see it. Now, of course, you guys can see it. This is just a test wallet we're using. So today I'm going to take a screen capture of these wallet keys. I do not recommend this is how you do it normally. You should write these down. Keep them in a secure place where nobody else can see them. Do not do it on video. Do not do what I'm doing here. This is just for test purposes. Now we're going to enter the 24 words back in. It's going to verify that we have them. And once we've got all of them entered in, we will check. I understand that the only way to recover my wallet if my computer is lost, broken, stolen, or stops working is to use my wallet recovery phrase. Remember that, guys, that we couldn't stress this more. Click continue. All right, now we've got our wallet created, and we're going to go through and actually look at the features within the Eternl wallet. So on the account page, we can see quite a few things within it here. First, let's go around the outside and kind of check out the features. This right here is the button that you'll use to actually connect which wallet you want for your DApp. So if you're using something like JPEG Store and you want to connect your wallet into it, and you have multiple wallets, kind of like my setup right here. I've got multiple wallets, and you'll see the little green icon is on Slim's Nami right now. That means that's the wallet that will interact with any dApps that I use. You know, whereas if I go and I turn it onto my Ledger device, I can actually connect my Ledger device, boom, and now the green dot is there. And that is the wallet that would interact if I were to click on anything on a website with a wallet connector. So we're going to go back. It does list the account amount, and then there's this little eyeball button where you can hide the amount in case you're doing videos like this. You'll see I had that on my last video. And we're going to go into the settings, or we'll keep reviewing the account tab here. Don't want to jump too far ahead. So we've got the summary, and this is going to basically show us just the summary of the wallet. It's a really nice summary. We're going to see the total available funds, the total locked funds, which is what happens when you start interacting with smart contracts. It does need a little bit amount that's locked. And also, if you send something, it is going to lock up a specific amount of funds per EUTXO. You can kind of look at each EUTXO as like a pocket with money in it. So if you have, 4 pockets, basically 4 UTXOs, and you have $100 in your front right pocket, and you spend 20 out of that. Well, while that spend is happening, it's going to keep that whole 100 in that EUTXO locked up until that spend is done, and then it comes back to you. So that's just kind of an explanation of what locked is. There's a whole bunch of other stuff here. I'm not going to go through every little thing that's detailed on here, but it's got rewards history, pretty much everything you could need in just a summary. Now, going over to the tokens list tab, it's going to show us all the tokens we own, fungible tokens as well as NFTs. You can't see them right now because we don't have any in here. But let's go on over to one of my wallets and let's see what we have listed. Let's go to Slim's Nami, token list. And you'll see here I've got an ADA realm plot. We've got some cheddar. We have a bunch of tokens. And you can filter it out based on fungible tokens or your NFT. And there's also a simple mode, which I've actually never used. I don't know what that does. Let's see. Oh yeah, simple mode on looks like it gives more details that you can copy right out of there, like policy ID and asset name. Which these copy buttons are super useful, guys. You have to actually copy these things in crypto more than you think. The next, we're going to go over to the UTXO list, and this is basically going to show you. You know how we just had that analogy of the pockets? This is basically going to show you how much ADA or how many tokens are in each pocket, each UTXO. So you can see what's in each UTXO. And I do believe they have a UTXO cleanup tool where you can combine a bunch of them because there is a maximum amount of UTXOs allowed on a wallet, although I don't quite recall what that is right now. But you'll see I've got 54 on this particular wallet on 32 addresses. And those 32 addresses are, your receive addresses, because these can change each time you receive something. It changes quite frequently, although if it's previously had an address, that address will always go to that wallet. Next, we're going to go to account list. Now, these are the accounts that was referenced when we initially set up the wallet and we typed in 3. We can have up to 23 within Eternl wallet to be supported. So you'll see you can add accounts, and you can do that at a later time. So you'll see I've got 3 now, 0, 1, and 2. And I always can add another one by just typing in the sign address, and it's going to go ahead and create a 4th one. Now, what you can use these accounts for is if you would like to divide up your ADA and stake it to different pools. So if you want to support a few single pool operators, or even if you want to support the multi-pool operators, whatever, we do encourage you to support the smaller single pool operators. So you can go ahead and do that. You can delegate each account to a different pool. You could also potentially hide ADA from your wife or hide NFTs in these various accounts. Now, I personally don't have a whole lot of experience with these accounts, so I don't want to tell you too much because I could be wrong on some of it. I tend to store my wallets like one account per wallet, but this is a pretty neat way to do it, and there are people within Cardano that think this is just the bee's knees. So it's a really nice feature to be able to support multiple pools at once, or if you want to participate in a bunch of different ISPOs at one time. Shout out to Mahendra Bhat on Twitter for kind of like talking with me on some of this information, because I haven't really used the account list before. Now, going over to the next tab, you're going to see transactions, and on this tab there's literally nothing because it's a brand new wallet. But if we go over to my personal wallet and we look at the transactions, you'll see just yesterday I purchased a few Graffiti Consortium NFTs, and this is where it'll show you the history of incoming and outgoing transactions. You can also look at the pending transactions, so if they're still waiting to actually go through the chain, or they haven't been submitted to the chain yet, this is where you can find them. However, history is the perfect way to kind of go back and look at what's going on. And they do have a nice download button here, so if you click it, it's going to bring up and allow you to export it in a CSV where the delimiter is a comma, a decimal, and then they also have these other kinds of CSVs you can export it with. You can turn on the notes as well as local timestamps and then export it. That should make it pretty easy for people to import this kind of thing right into your QuickBooks or whatever tax accounting software you use. Now, the Send tab, pretty straightforward. This is where you go when you actually want to send ADA, an NFT, or just some fungible tokens. You can go to the Send tab, you pretty much just put in the address here, and you can either enter a full ADA address or you can enter an ADA handle. If you enter an ADA handle, you do have to click Resolve ADA Handle before you go to the next steps. But then you go to Next, you'll put in how much you want to send, and because I don't have anything in this wallet, it's not going to let me send anything. But if we test this from my personal wallet, we'll go ahead, we'll just send it on over to Strip. And I'm not going to send anything, we're just going to see what it looks like. I can then go down here and let's just send one ADA, or you know what, let's not fill any ADA in here, but let's add a token. So if I want to send an NFT or a fungible token, this is how I can do it. And then I just go ahead and we're going to search for Strip. We're going to narrow it down to the Stripper Coin NFTs and fungible tokens. And you'll see here, then I can click Add. If I want to send some Stripper Coin, I can tell it the amount. We'll send 100 Stripper Coin in this transaction. And then we'll go to the next step. And you'll see it included the minimum ADA amount to send there, 1.37, etc., etc. That's the minimum amount I have to send with these tokens. So we'll go next, and now it wants the spending password, and that's the password we set up right at the beginning. Now this spending password can be different on each restored wallet. So let's say I restored this wallet on my other computer. I technically could make this spending password different from device to device. Although you may want to keep it the same just for your own sanity, it is something that's kind of neat. You know, a good use for having different spend passwords is, you know, if you have a giveaway wallet that multiple people control, you can, you know, people can set their own passwords. You don't have to share your password with them. The only thing you have to give them is the recovery phrase to actually restore the wallet. So that's the Send tab. Now, if we go on over to the TX Builder tab, I do have a video on how to work with it. And this is basically if you want to, you know, lower your fees and send a bunch of outputs in a single TX, you pretty much build it in here by adding outputs over and over to it. And go ahead and watch that video on my channel if you haven't already. Now, the import, that's basically if you want to import a transaction that you've already built somewhere else. I've never used this function. I can't say how well it works, but it's a wonderful feature because there are times where you may need this. Although I can't exactly give you an incident or an example of one right now, it's obviously necessary if they added it into their tool here. And then the Receive tab, this is basically where you go to just get your wallet address. If you want to receive funds from somebody and they say, what's your wallet address? This is the first place you want to go. You click on the copy button right there. Boom, it's copied. Now you have the actual receive address. And if you want to add something to a previous EU TXO, you can search for previous addresses that were used or that, you know, are associated with this particular wallet. So that's a way you can do it too. You can go down there and share any of those, or you can just use a brand new one. It's really up to you. I haven't had any issues with this yet, you know, just using a new one each time. But I do expect that there is a potential to have some issues by creating a new address every time you go to use it. So just kind of be cognizant of what you're doing there, you know, and always keep an eye on your transactions here, or actually, where was it? On your UTXOs, wherever that was. Here it is, UTXO list. You know, we've got 0 and 0 addresses, but keep an eye on that. I don't know the number, but there is a maximum that you can get to. Now moving on, going to the staking tab here, this is where you actually delegate your ADA. So if you don't have a pool yet, I do have partner pools that I recommend. One is Six City Mermaids, SCM. They're kind of struggling to get over the 1.5 million delegated mark to mint consistent blocks. So please go stake your ADA to there. It really helps. And the operators, it's a partnership between Six City and Mermaida and her partner. So it's one of my favorite pools. I work with them a lot. And they're just all around good people. The other pool that I recommend you delegate to is Sapio Pool. It's a Greek community pool, and you'll see they've got 2.2 million, so their block minting is pretty consistent, and they have pretty good ROI. I'm not going to review all the statistics here on these cards right now. We can do that in another video, but Sapio Pool and SCM are the two I recommend you stake to. And then we do have a third partner pool for Stripper Coin, Ada Oz. This is actually run by Pete from Learn Cardano YouTube channel. So if you want to support him, go on over. But you can see he's got 58 million staked. I mean, you know, 10 more million, and he's near the saturation point. So please go ahead, stake to Six City Mermaids. They could really use it, really use your support. And, you know, if you want to stake to all of them, just go use the accounts function here in Eternl, and you can do that. But all you'll do is you just go here and you click on Delegate. It's going to actually ask you to enter your spend password. Let's do it. Let's see if it allows me. No, it doesn't allow me because I don't even have any UTXOs to stake. So it has you enter your spend password, and you do spend the minimum transaction amount to stake your ADA. So it will be a small spend, but you know, you return that. You get that you earn that back pretty quick, even if you're with a really small staking pool. And then moving on, we've got the staking vault, which is basically if you want to use Eternl and stake to their pools, you can actually use the vault. And they do have some information here. I'm not going to review this too much. I think it's better for people to choose their own pool, a pool or somebody that they really support and that they have a lot in common with, or a pool that gives them rewards that they want to see. So I'm not going to review the staking vault too much. Now, they have added a voting tab here, and this voting tab is for on-chain governance. This is the Catalyst registration. You first have to register your wallet, and it does take some time to register your wallet for voting, so make sure you do it at least 2 weeks before any voting takes place. But the next voting period, I believe, is in January here sometime. So coming up over the next month and a half, they'll be voting. So go register now if you plan on taking part in Project Catalyst. This is basically where you go and people ramping up projects submit their projects to receive funding and build pretty cool things on Cardano. And this is all community driven. So it's a really awesome way of governance. I haven't seen any other chains do this in such a successful manner. Now, there are issues with Project Catalyst. There's room for improvement. There's things that they can do better, and they will be doing better. But for now, it's what we've got, guys. So go participate. Don't let your vote go to waste. And I really see Project Catalyst as kind of a test bed for even bigger governance systems. I mean, potentially someday an actual voting system for government positions could be held in the exact same way that they're doing for Catalyst. So go participate, that way you know what's going on. Now, the last tab here is the settings tab, and by far this tab has the most going on. Now, this is one of the reasons why Eternl is my favorite wallet. They have so many different settings that you can kind of set up and configure. Now, the first one I want to go over is actually the app account. And let me find it here. It's where you can turn on enabling your wallet to connect to dApps on the blockchain. So let's find it here. Well, you know what? We'll just go from the top. So first, name and password. If you want to rename your wallet, this is where you would do it. You can also reset your password. You have to know your old password in order to reset it, though. And then you can also set a wallet access password. So to even get into the wallet, you can set this here. Otherwise you can't even access it. So then you would have 2 layers of protection. You would have your spend password and your access password. I don't use this because nobody's getting to my computer that I don't want on my computer. Hey, you don't even try. But yeah, I have no real need for this. Pretty much I have ledgers protecting any substantial amount of ADA that I hold. Now, you can select special icons for each wallet. You'll see over here, and for any wallet, it's basically like a QR code. It's a unique, pixel identification of your wallet. And, you can change that. You can make it something you want. If you'd like to upload an image, like if we look for the 3D mock-up of my mushroom company here, and we save that, you'll see it set the icon over here to exactly that. And then you can also set the wallet background, kind of, a little bit of customization. Now, this wallet background can actually be set using an NFT. So you just enter the token policy ID and the asset name, you set your opacity, and it'll appear as the background. I've never actually used this, so I don't know if it appears like back here or if it appears in here. Anyways, moving on. Wallet address book, you can actually add entries for an address book. So if you have somebody that you send to a lot regularly, you can just click add entry, enter their actual wallet name. We'll do strip, and you see it resolve the address, and we can click add. Boom. So now there's an address book entry. So now when we actually go to send, you'll see, I think I don't know where the address book is at here. I don't know, I've never used the address book before, but that's how you add it to it. Not quite sure how you actually send to it. Add to global address book. Boom. I think that's what we need to do first, is add it to the global. And then I think it'll work. But moving on, we have the collateral tab. Now, if you're interacting, if you're purchasing any NFTs or interacting with smart contracts, you are going to want to set collateral. Now, the first time you interact with a lot of these websites, they probably will automatically have you come in here and set collateral. Now, we're not going to be able to do it because we don't have any ADA, so it can't take any UTXOs or any collateral out of our wallet. But this is basically how you do it. You would click set collateral, and then it's going to look for a free input UTXO. And generally, it's going to take somewhere between 5 and 20 ADA. And I think that's going to matter on like the efficiency of the first smart contract you utilize. Now, it says here, it can use any UTXO with no tokens and a value between 5 and 20 ADA as collateral. When you activate this setting, it'll look for UTXO that is suitable, basically, that fits that criteria. So moving on down here, we've got an advanced UTXO management, and that's just on by default. I don't recommend turning that off, okay? And actually, I think that might not be on by default. I think that's where, I think when we came in here, no, it's not turned on there. Okay, anyways, maybe it is turned on by default. I'm not exactly quite sure. And we've got export wallet and transaction history. That's very similar to the export button we saw earlier, but we can export the entire wallet. We can also export the account public key. This is very useful if you want to just, it's an extra backup method to have for your wallet, so it's super nice. Moving down, we've got single address mode, and this basically would make Eternl act like Nami. Nami's one of the few wallets that only uses a single address for UTXO management, so you only always have a single address for your Nami wallet. Now, this can actually cause some trouble with other wallets, so if you restore your Nami wallet into Eternl, you might actually not see all of your ADA or all of your NFTs, and that's basically what this is for. If you turn it on, it'll turn it into the mode where then you can see everything, but I recommend not mixing Nami with any of these other wallets, even though they are catching up and getting these kind of management features on. I feel like it's good to keep those two kinds of management methods separate. Now, we've also got token fragmentation, and what this does is it splits tokens into bundles on send. So if you send it, if there are more tokens in change to be returned than the set value. So depending on the wallet UTXO or token distribution and desired outcome, values might have to be tweaked for the optimal result. I've never used the token fragmentation feature here, so if you have, make sure you go below, comment, kind of tell me what you've used it for and if it was useful. Obviously, there's a use for it if the Eternl team has it in here. Now we've also got an auto withdrawal function, and this will automatically withdraw your rewards on a certain time frame or whenever they're available to you. I generally leave this off, and I have my rewards just keep accruing until eventually I see they're there and I pull them out. It's really a personal preference. Now, the enable send all, this function can be useful, but I definitely recommend that you leave it off, because if this is enabled, you could potentially accidentally send all of your tokens, NFTs, and fungible tokens, and ADA to somebody by accident. When Yoroi first launched, they had a send all button at the very bottom, and this became such a widespread problem, they had to remove it. But the send all is a useful function because, like, let's say I lost the private keys to my wallet. Well, I need to have a way to send everything out of that wallet to one that I do have the private keys for, that I can restore, and has the proper security on it. I don't want to have to go through and like send things one by one or add it all to a TX because, you can have a lot of NFTs. Some people do have lots of NFTs in their wallet, and that just gets to be a pain in the ass. So you can turn that on and then send everything in one transaction. It's super nice. I have used it. Now this here, enabling manual sync, it's pretty much like just hitting the refresh button, you know. So Eternl has its own ability. It goes and it syncs every few minutes or whenever the page is active. And if you had enable manual sync turned on, it would not do that. It would only sync when you told it to, when you hit the button. I don't use that, but I suspect people with like really slow internet connections, this is what they might want to do, because when it's syncing, you can't really use it. It's just kind of hung up there. So if it takes a really long time to sync, you know, you may want to just make this a manual thing. And then you've got your wallet synchronization, where you can actually go here and click Resync Wallet. I'm guessing this is probably the button you would use if you turned manual sync on. Recovery phrase verification. This is where you can click it, and it'll actually just have you go through and re-enter your 24 words. I honestly am not 100% sure why you would want to use this, but there's got to be a reason they added it here. And then, last but not least, at the bottom here, you have the ability to delete your wallet. And when you delete it, it will also unstake it. Now, you can delete it from the entire network, or you can just delete it from Eternl here. This here would just delete it from Eternl. You click delete, and it'll go away. Now, this wallet does have, you know, light and dark mode. It's up in the top right here. So here's the light mode. It hurts. We'll go back to dark. I really like the dark mode in Eternl here. They do have an FAQ as well as an announcements page at the bottom here. And then they have a dApp browser. So if you click on it, this is basically a bunch of dApps that have worked with Eternl to integrate their functionality right into it. And it's really nice. I mean, you've got JPEG Store, Pixel.page, and hopefully one day you'll see Stripper Coin in here. Got Cardano Lands, Muesli Swap, Sunday Swap, Min Swap, all the big names, all of the pretty much marketplaces and dexes that you would want to interact with. And it's real nice. I've actually never used it myself, but I've heard of people that have, and you'll see since I have 4 different accounts, it'll let me connect either of those accounts in, there's no sense in doing it because I don't have any ADA, but if I click it, boom, now that's connected to the jpeg.store dApp, and I can go and just start to mint things. You'll see here, if I go to the mints, anything on JPEG Store that's minting and allows this kind of functionality will actually be here. So we could go in and we could actually mint some ADA handles. This is like a really, really nice feature of Eternl, guys. I don't know how many other wallets have this kind of thing, but I do know that Eternl is the first one to get it. And FTC Megapass, there are boys. Hell yeah. And girls. I mean, shout out to Maria. Oh, they're sold out. NFTC Megapass is sold out. Really nice, guys. Really nice. So after giving you that brief rundown of Eternl, I do want to shout out the Eternl team. They're doing an awesome job developing this wallet. They're leagues ahead of some other wallet developers. But we're going to move on to the next wallet. Here we go. Next up on the list is a wallet that I have not really used yet. So you're going to really be using it along with me for the first time, and that is Flint Wallet. Again, as always, you can find Flint Wallet in the Google Chrome web store, and the icon is this orange thing. As you can see, it's got 5 stars, so this wallet is probably a pretty good wallet. So let's go ahead, let's try it out. I've got it installed here up at the top, so I'm going to click on it, and it goes ahead. It opens up a whole new tab for me, much like Eternl, and we're going to say, let's begin. So first off, we've got English and we've got Japanese, no other languages, but I'm sure they will be adding more over time. And it's going to ask us to help improve the wallet. And basically, they want to collect settings and things from us. That's up to you whether you want to do it. I'm going to say no, thank you. Now, Flint does allow you to create a wallet on mainnet or testnet, which is pretty nice. We're going to go for the mainnet. And as you see here, it does allow you to connect a hardware wallet, create a new wallet, or restore it with your recovery phrase. And so far, I do like this UI. It's actually a pretty smooth experience. We're going to create a new wallet. Now, here's our recovery phrase. As always, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. And by now, you should be tired of me telling you to keep your wallet phrases safe. So there's no need for me to say it again. Now this time, instead of typing them in, we're actually going to choose them in the correct order. Now we're going to set the password. Now it's going to ask for an app password. This is basically to open the wallet at all. This is a password you're going to want to use if you have multiple people that use the same device and you don't want to allow them to have access to your wallet as well. And then we click Finish. Now that our wallet is set up in Flint, we go to Open Flint, and you see right away they're asking us for the password. So they've got good security so far. We're going to enter that. And now this is where Flint seems to be a lot like Nami, as it's popping down from the top corner of our browser, and it looks like it's got some very basic functionality. You've got the balance that's going to show here. We can send, we can receive. When we click receive, it gives us a QR code. We can click copy address. And it looks like only Cardano is able to be transacted on right now. And then if we go back, we've got a delegation tab, which is going to allow us to delegate our ADA to a pool. And it looks like somehow you do it through pool.pm. I'm not exactly sure how that works. But it does have charts for rewards, and it does have a button to allow you to withdraw it. Going to the third tab, there are dApps. As we can see here, that's very similar to Eternl, having the dApps, Wing Riders, JPEG Store, MinSwap, and Flint Deep Links are the dApps that are allowed. Now that's the wallet tab. Going down to the bottom here, click on the little image, and it's going to show us our NFTs that are in the wallet. And of course, we don't have any. Now if we click on this little button over here, it's actually going to allow us to add wallets or accounts, or lock the app. We're going to go back into our account number 1. And we'll go here. And this is going to show us our transaction history. And then last but not least, we've got our settings, which let's go down through them. Blockchain, we can use multiple blockchain explorers. Right now, by default, it's set to use ADA pools, but you can use Cardano Stan, ADA Stat, Cardano Explorer, ADA-X, Blockchair, or ADA pools. That's pretty cool. Token explorers, it only allows ADA pools and Cardano scan. I like this. I like the functionality that allows you to choose both of them or multiple actual explorers. That's really cool. And then they also allow you to use different servers. So right now you've got DC Spark, and it looks like that's the only actually configured server you can use. But there is a setting to use a custom node. So if you have a friend that has a node set up to interact as a wallet, you can actually use that as well. And I believe this is probably where you would set it to utilize certain bridges and things too. Now moving down, it looks like a lot of the settings in here are going to compare to Eternl wallet. They just doesn't look like they have everything Eternl does, but they do have a lot of it. They let you set your collateral, which is pretty nice. Manage the apps that are connected to the wallet. Oh, and this is pretty cool. You can actually have Flint connect to these connectors and emulate like it's Nami, CC Vault. That's it. That's Eternl's old name, so I'm surprised that is even still there. Flint Experimental, Gero, and Yoroi. Gero's one we'll be going over next, actually. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that functionality. I haven't seen that before. Can change the wallet name here. Oh, this is pretty cool. I haven't seen this functionality in any of the wallets yet. I think it's going to tell us, cool, yeah. So it actually, if we lost our wallet recovery phrase, this actually re-gives it to us so we can always go back and get it. Now, you do have to have your spend password to know this. Now, I could see where this could be dangerous because if somebody hacks your computer, they could get your actual wallet recovery phrase and completely steal the wallet, but they would have to know the actual spend password, so they probably have everything in the wallet anyways if they've hacked your computer. But this is nice. I like that. None of the other wallets do that for me that I've played around with yet. At least not that I'm aware of. Correct me down below if I'm wrong. Manage your passcode, where we can change the passcode, which is the one that unlocks it. Passwords, manage those. Resync the wallet or remove the wallet. And then we've also got the display language, help and support, about Flint, legal information, and analytics. Oh, and this is where you opt in or opt out to having them collect your information. So overall, I do like Flint Wallet here. It seems to be a nice middle of the road. If you don't need all of the features of Eternl, but you want it to act similar to Nami, it seems like Flint would be your go-to for that. Yeah, I like Flint. I give it a B+. Next, we are going to review Yoroi. Now, Yoroi was built by IOHK. I believe Sebastian Guillermo. I don't know exactly how to say his last name, but Sebastian is one of the people who built Yoroi. Now, it's lagged a little bit in development, and speaking of lag, it is one of the slowest wallets to remain on the network yet today. However, you'll see I have many wallets set up in Yoroi, and it's because I used it for a good year before moving over to another wallet. And Yoroi is kind of a middle of the road as far as functionality. Now, I do believe Yoroi now supports ADA handles, so they've finally caught up with that. But there's a lot of things Yoroi doesn't do that I'm not really impressed with. So first, we're going to kind of just look at the basic interface here. When you do click on Yoroi, it'll bring up a whole new window. And again, Yoroi is available in the Chrome store. So if you go to the Chrome, Google Play App Store, search Yoroi, you can install it right there. And Emergo is the publisher. But it'll appear right up here. You click on it, and it'll bring up the wallet tab for you. But again, Yoroi is super slow. I mean, I had this loaded, and you see it's just taking forever to load again. So it takes a long time to sync, and let's just kind of look at the settings within it before going over actually the functionality of sending and receiving. We've got our general tab here, which you can use a new version, which is in beta, or the current version. You know, you can kind of change the look a little bit. You can go over to the blockchain, and I don't know if this is supposed to allow you to connect to other blockchains or something, but it doesn't appear to be working. Wallet tab, I don't see much function in. Terms of use, support and logs, you can download your logs. Level of complexity, we're in advanced. I mean, I can't imagine what simple looks like, to be honest, because this is, I mean, would it get more simple than Nami? So anyways, there's not a whole lot to configure in it. You can change, and you'll see I have it blanked out so you don't see the values, but you can change the value it displays in from ADA to something like US dollars. Now, going into a wallet, and creating the wallet is just like creating it over on Eternl, where, you know, you get your words and you have to re-enter them. So we're not going to go through and do that here in Yoroi, since I've already got wallets set up. But going into this wallet, you'll see you do have a rewards graph. It shows you your upcoming rewards, and who you're delegated with. You can actually go to the pool's actual webpage here. And, you know, this was great when Yoroi first launched, because there were no other wallets to compare it to. But it's kind of lagged behind in the times now. You go over to the transactions page, and it's just what you would expect, all of your ins and outs and your transactions. And you can export them to a CSV file here as well. The send tab, very similar to any of the other send tabs. You can send ADA, or you can drop it down and send tokens. The one thing I do not like is this doesn't allow you to bundle stuff together. So I can pretty much only send a single policy ID at a time. So if I'm trying to send somebody a bunch of NFTs, this is not the wallet I want to use, because I'm going to have a transaction for each one. It's going to take forever and be very costly, and transaction fees. Yeah, and you see it doesn't support ADA handles yet either, so you'd have to put in the entire address there. So again, Yoroi falls short on almost everything. But you can come down here and you can tell it to send all of this one. Again, falling short. We go into assets, and it is going to show us all of the various tokens that we have, NFTs and fungible tokens, but it's not going to actually display them, which is kind of a letdown. You kind of want it to show you an image or something, but no, it's just going to show us like the asset ID. And the receive tab, where you would go to actually get your address, you can copy it out of here or generate a new address. It does have some extra functionality for internal and external addresses, but to be honest, I haven't seen a need for people to use these, whether you're sending it internal or not. So I think this is just extraneous stuff. One of the tabs they also have is the voting tab, and as you'll see, it does require at least 500 ADA, so it's telling me I have insufficient funds to participate in voting, because, oh, hey, it didn't blank it out. It's telling you how much balance I have in this wallet right here. Again, Yoroi fails at the development goals. When I have it turned off to display how much I actually have in this wallet, it's still showing it down here. So Yoroi dev team, what's up? Why can't you guys get your shit together? Honestly, it's probably because IOHK got Yoroi around and got it working to be the first wallet on Cardano and pretty much wanted the community to take it over from there, which they did, as you saw with the Eternl wallet, because Eternl and Nami were two of the first wallets on Yoroi's heels coming out. So with that concludes my Yoroi review. Again, it's very disappointing, and I do not recommend it. It's super slow. As you see, it's still trying to sync all my stuff up here. Just super slow. Not a fan of Yoroi. Next up on the list is Gero Wallet. Gero Wallet, again, you can find it through the Chrome store. It will install as an app plugin, and you'll see here they do have a full 5 stars, so they are probably a pretty nice wallet. I recommend going to gerowallet.io to check them out before installing it, or get the link from gerowallet.io. But they have a nice little video here to watch about the wallet. Some nice screenshots so you can kind of see what it looks like. So overall, I like the feel of their development flow so far, and kind of what they show you. So we clicked on the button in the top right, and we're going to get started. We're going to create a wallet here. So you'll see, as always, you can connect a hardware wallet, import an account, or create a Gero wallet. First thing they have you do is set your spend password. I want you to agree to the terms. Make sure you always read your terms of service. And definitely always be careful typing this kind of stuff into a website. Make sure if you're typing in these things that you're actually on an extension and you're not giving a phishing website your passwords. Secret backup phrase. Again, you have the option to make it dark or light, and we're going to unlock it here and take a screenshot for ourselves to be able to start this wallet up. And as always, keep your recovery phrases safe. Now, Gero here does something very similar to the last wallet, to Flint, where they just have you go through and choose them in the right order. So we're going to do that. Now, once you've got them in the right order, click continue. And now it's going to ask for the wallet cover. And I do like that they give you like a bunch of different colors you can choose. We're going to go for the more pink one, represents some stripper coin, represent. And they're going to kind of tell you, make sure you keep your phrase safe, store it in multiple places, the basic security, information for your seed phrases. And now we're pretty much going to go open the wallet. So we click up there, and again, it opens up very similar to Nami and Flint, as you can see, but it does give you a little like stock ticker on your assets, which I think that's really nice. So if I had multiple assets in here, such as stripper coin, it should show me stripper coin ticker as well. Now on the first page here, we can see it gives us the balance. We can buy, Ooh, and they actually allow you to buy ADA. Now, that's one thing I didn't review that Yoroi allows you to do is buy ADA. But it looks like Gero is one of the few that allows you to do it too. And they're doing it through MoonPay. So it looks like it would actually, yeah, it opens up MoonPay in a whole separate browser. We're not going to go through that right now. Although that is a really cool piece of functionality. You don't have to buy your ADA on an exchange through Gero. You can actually buy it directly through Gero. And then they've got the send button where you can go and send your ADA. And let's see if they support ADA handles. They probably do. I don't think it's even going to go through because it knows that I don't have enough to send. Pretty sure Gero does support ADA handles though. And then you can see they have the stake button, which is not even allowing me to click on because I don't have anything in my wallet. So first, you see we have assets, and that's likely the fungible tokens. And then we've got collectibles, which is probably going to be our NFTs. And we've got history, which is going to be our transaction history. So Gero looks like a very basic wallet, something that a beginner user could use. Oh yes, wallet address or handle. So they do support handles. And it looks like you drop this down to select the token you want to send. And then we'll come down here and account. Account gets us to our settings, it looks like. So let's go through these settings. Ooh, not too much here. Automatic logout time, 5 minutes. Your language and your currency. Well, what other currency? US dollars, Europe, and Great British pounds. Okay. Wallet details, we've got our wallet address, a QR code, and a button to view in Cardano scan. We can set our collateral. That's pretty good. Security, we can resync or remove the wallet. I don't know that I'd consider either of those security functions, but whatever. And then we've got sign out. Okay, so Gero is very, very basic. Not a wallet that I would recommend for advanced users. Definitely a wallet I would recommend for beginners. So I would put so far Gero wallet on the same level as Nami at maybe, a C+ or B- on the rating scale. Next on the list is Nami Wallet. Nami Wallet was designed by Alessandro, which is the creator of Space Buds and just a prolific developer within the community. Now, Nami is more akin to MetaMask. It's a very simple wallet. It doesn't open up like Eternl in its own wallet window. When you install it, you'll see it just appears in the top right here and just opens up in a tiny little window. But you can find it on the Chrome Web Store. Just search for Nami. This is what the official logo looks like. You install it, and I'm pretty sure they do have a mobile version, although don't hold me to that. Now, the first thing we're going to want to do, you can import a wallet here, but we're going to create a new wallet. You first have to accept the terms of use. And then again, we're going to have to go through the seed phrase verification stuff. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of them. And again, keep your seed phrases secure, people. Do not let anybody see these or share these. I'm just creating this for demo purposes. Now, Nami's a little bit different. It's not going to have you go through and enter all 24 of the words, only a handful of them. So we're going to have to enter the 5th one. The 10th one, and I'm pretty sure it's random on which words it actually has you enter. And I assure you, if you restored this wallet on your computer after the fact, there's going to be nothing in it. So we're going to call this test video Nami. I'm going to enter a password. I do encourage everybody to enter different spend passwords on each of their wallets to decrease the likelihood that your funds could be stolen. So now that we've got the wallets set up in our Nami, you'll see there's 0 ADA in it, and there's not nearly as many options as Eternl has, but that's not exactly a bad thing. Nami works great for just very basic purposes, as well as trading NFTs and things like that. So first here, you'll see two different tabs. three, I guess you could say. The first one that looks like little coins, that's the fungible token tab. That's where it's going to show your actual fungible tokens. The second one here is actually your NFT tab. So this is where it'll display those. And then you actually have a history of transactions. Now you can delegate by clicking on the delegate pool. However, by default, it only allows you to delegate to the berry pool, and 5% of their staking rewards are taken per year, which there's nothing wrong with that. Every pool should be allowed to extract some value to pay for their operation. However, sometimes you don't want to just delegate to berry pool. There is a way through pool.pm to use Nami to stake to other pools. However, I'm not going to cover that in this video. I may do that in another one. So my Nami video is actually going to be, my Nami section is going to be very short. But you'll see here, if you click on your icon, you can actually go down and there are multiple accounts that you can set up. And Nami does now support hardware wallets. So you can connect a hardware wallet. You can set up collateral, but we're going to go to settings and just look at the basic features of it, aside from what you see when you come here, which is basically sending and receiving. When you do click the receive, though, Nami does give you a nice little QR code that people can just take a picture of, or you can copy your receive address out right here. Now remember, in the Eternl video, I said Nami only uses a single UTXO address. This will be your address the entire time you use Nami. It'll never change like it does with most other wallets. Let's go back to the settings here. So our general settings, we can use dark or light mode. We can display our value in USD or euros. And we can rename the wallet. Pretty basic. We can also whitelist sites here. And there's not many options in there, so I'm not exactly sure how sites get into the whitelist. And then you can set up a different network. So you can set up Nami to work on testnet. You can set up to work on pre-prod or preview. Cardano does have a good amount of different networks that you can actually use. And then they have the ability to use a custom node. Now, this is what people use in order to use bridges and send stuff through the Wing Riders bridge. I've never used this personally, so I can't be the one to really tell you too much about it. If you guys do want some kind of tutorial on that, comment below, let me know. But yeah, you can set Nami up to work on different networks. And that's really it. There's not a lot to Nami. It's very simple. So if you just want a wallet that's as simple as you can get, operates right in the top right of your browser as a plugin, Nami's for you. And lastly on the list is Typhon wallet. Again, another wallet I've never used myself, but it is one that I've had people recommend to me multiple times. So if you want to download this wallet, go to typhonwallet.io, and in the top right you will see download extension. You can also go to the Chrome Web Store and search for Typhon wallet. And you'll see they do have a 5 out of 5 score with only 14 people having voted. So you can download it. You'll come here. They do have for Chrome, Brave, and Edge. And it doesn't look like they have a mobile wallet just yet. But we go down. They do have some pretty good features, NFTs, staking, hardware wallet. But let's just get right into it to see what's what rather than just looking at their marketing materials. So up in the top right-hand corner, we're going to click on the Typhon wallet. And the first time I click on it, it's going to say, hey, how do you want to connect your wallet? Do you want to use a ledger? Do you want to use a Trezor? Now, this is the first wallet, aside from Eternl, because Eternl did allow us to use a Trezor, that has the Trezor option. But we're just going to go to create here, and you can see they do allow 12, 15, and 24 recovery phrases. Going to name the wallet and set the spend password here. Again, always read your terms and conditions. And now they're giving us the recovery phrase. So I'm going to take a screenshot of these. And you'll see, actually, they do allow you to decide if you want the 12 words, the 15 words, or the 24 words. I always tell people to opt for the 24 words, but for the... Well, no, we're going to go for 24 words on this one, guys. I'm going to have to take a new screenshot of it. Here we go. 24 words. Definitely always opt for the most secure method, which is going to be the most words possible. And the reason for that is because when when like big computer farms start to get the compute resource to actually hack these things, especially the neural nets and stuff that Google operates, you want to have the highest level of encryption, which is going to be something like this. Now they do have the option for Pro. When I tick it on, it actually gives it more in like a interesting and more like a text file. And we'll say I wrote it down. Oh, cool. Now it's going to let me... Oh, okay. We could either type it or we can go through and click them. And that's actually a nice medium, kind of a combo between how the other ones did it. So let's go through. We want to find... Next, we're going to choose whether we want a single address wallet or an HD wallet. Single address wallet is more like what Nami is, whereas the HD wallet is more like Eternl, Yoroi, and these others. So we're going to choose HD wallet. Now, if you are restoring from something like Nami, you may want to choose single address wallet. Now that our wallet's created, we're going to see Typhon has an interface a little bit more like Eternl. So it's a full browser window. It's not just a little window that appears in the top right of your corner. And it gives you pretty much like a full web page of potential options that you can do. So let's just look around the page here, and you'll see first we see you have dark mode and light mode, and we're going to leave this on dark mode for now. We've got settings down here, and we have a bunch of tabs over here. So the default window that we're at here enables you to actually send ADA and tokens, or you can just send tokens. So let's go ahead. We're just going to kind of test around with this a little bit. Set maximum, add tokens. That's pretty nice. You can add tokens. I like the flow. Add metadata. Interesting. I've actually never... Metadata can contain details about a transaction. Metadata label can be a schema identifier that shows what the metadata is. They are unsigned integers, limited size up to 64 bits. Metadata value can contain integers, text strings, lists, maps, and more. Pretty cool. You can add additional metadata to your transaction. You can clear it. That's pretty neat. I like that functionality. You can hide your balance. Again, I like that. You can come up to the top right here and add other wallets within this account. That's pretty cool. Copy this. You can copy the address out, and you also have a QR code there. And they have a stake button right on the home page. And when I click on it, because I have nothing in my wallet, it does say a minimum of 5 ADA is required, which I haven't mentioned before. So make sure you have 5 ADA at least if you want to stake your wallet. Coming over to the staking tab here, that's what it tells me there as well. When we go to assets, you're going to see it has NFTs and tokens. You know, kind of backwards. Most places list your tokens first and then your NFTs second. But who knows if these always stay in the same order. They may flip around, or if one has more than the other. I'm not quite sure. I don't use Typhon on a daily basis. Going to address, and you see here, because we chose the HD wallet, it's going to show us all the potential receive addresses our wallet currently has. Now, if we check show used, it stays the same because we actually haven't used this wallet ever. These are just the default addresses that come with it. But I suspect if it's a wallet that we've been using a good bit, it would show just the ones that were actually used and the UTXOs in them. Coming down, it does give us a Project Catalyst voting. However, this just pretty much allows you to go directly to Project Catalyst and download it from Google Play. It's not really like its own voting piece. More just helps you get involved with the actual voting, which is pretty cool, commendable effort. And then it has what you would consider an address book, contacts, where we can actually set people in here, and we'll add that. That's pretty nice. Ooh, transact, you can just click, okay, I like that. I like the contacts, the little address book thing where you can add people in here and just say transact. You don't have to constantly ask people for their ADA handle or their receive address or anything again. So the interface overall, I really like it. It seems very functional. Although it does not have all the options Eternl has, it's well suited for an intermediate user. So going down to settings, we do have the option to set the collateral, which we'll see here, and it just defaults to 5. That's pretty nice, 5 ADA. We do have multiple language support, English, Deutsch, Espanol, I don't know what that is, and some Asian language, probably Japanese. But I don't know what this is. Is that Greek or something, or Russian? I'm not quite sure. You can import wallet settings from another Typhon wallet, and you can also export these settings. So if you have Typhon on another computer, you really like how it's set up, yes, you can export it and import it. But that's pretty much it for the features here. So as you guys noticed, Eternl had a really long video section. I think it's 20-30 minutes, and most of these other wallets 5-10 minutes max, because they just don't have all the features built in. Typhon, very nice wallet. However, oh, and look, it does allow you to build your TX. Okay, so this bumps Typhon up on my list a little bit, as I can add more recipients and actually build my transaction. So you could do airdrops with Typhon wallet, which is pretty nice. So if I say, you know, this wallet could get this many in these tokens, this wallet could get, you know, 1 ADA in these tokens, and you can just keep building it. That is very similar to the TX builder within Eternl. However, I think this is actually easier to use. So that scores quite a few points on my list for Typhon. So I give Typhon an A. Definitely give Typhon an A. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Cardano has a super rich wallet ecosystem, one that accommodates users all the way from beginner to advanced. So depending on the wallet feature set that you're going to be using on a day-to-day basis, you can really choose a specific wallet that reacts nicely with what you're going to be doing. You know, if you're going to be doing airdrops, maybe you use Eternl or Typhon. If you're just going to be interacting with dApps and buying and selling on marketplaces, maybe you use Flint and Eternl. Or if you're just going to be doing super basic work and buying and selling from marketplaces, maybe you just use Nami. It's really up to you based on the feature set that you want to use and whether you're going to be using it on the desktop or on mobile. So I really hope this video gave you a good overview of what's available within the wallet ecosystem. Make sure you go below, subscribe, like, share this out if you want to see any more videos, because I do plan on starting to do live streams, more of a laid back kind of atmosphere where you guys can chime in and we can have a back and forth. So until next time, everybody, have a happy holidays and enjoy the last 12 days running up to Christmas. Bye.
Change the world. Yeah. Cardano Slim, what up?